Hey everybody, it's Kimber from Loving Light Holistic Wellness in Dallastown. And even though this probably isn't the best setup, I'm outside today because it's just where I need to be. And I really think that taking some time outside is important during this time. And it's easy to kind of fall into a place where we're feeling like stuck in the quarantine. And almost kind of, I know I've done it a couple days, almost forgot that I even could go outside because it's in my head, that I'm supposed to stay in. So I have to remind myself that I can actually do that, that I can actually come out here and connect to some beauty and see it and let it settle me. And I think that's really important. Honestly, it's made a tremendous shift in my life to be able to create some space where I can connect to the beauty that is, even when maybe the beauty that I wanted to have in my life or expected to see there isn't exactly as I wanted it to be, right? There's always something that I can find outside in nature that reminds me that there is goodness, that I am connected, and that I am worthy to receive that beauty that's there around me for me to see. And I think, I used to work in a bakery and I started at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I would, wake up, I don't know, quarter to three, and I would rush to get my workout done and make a breakfast shake and run out the door. And I'd always be running out the door thinking about maybe some of the things that I should have laid out for my kids. Like, did I put everything out for them? Did I get them all set up? And at the same time, being worried about whatever I was walking into, how much work was there going to be for me to do? Was I going to be able to get it all done in time? That kind of thing. And I wasn't really taking the time to start my day in a more connected and intentional way. And it's really important for us to do that because it helps us stay balanced and it helps us remember that we are connected, that we are supported, that there is goodness here for us, and that we do deserve to receive that goodness. So this changed for me because one day I was rushing out the door like that I didn't even have time to drink my breakfast, so I'm carrying my breakfast shake with me, and I put it up on the roof of the car so that I could open the door. And when I put it up there, it almost fell, and I looked up to catch it, and I noticed the Big Dipper in the sky right above me. And I stepped back and I looked up and I saw all these beautiful stars. And I was like, you know what? I have been leaving my house for work at this time for years now. And I don't think I've ever taken the time to look up and notice the stars. So I gave myself like 5 minutes that morning to just stand there and look at these magnificent stars. And I noticed that just taking the time to do that, taking the time to disconnect from the anticipation of where I was going and the worry about what I maybe had or hadn't done, really changed my entire day. And it created more ease, more flow throughout my day by one, I think it does three things, right? Making the space to connect. It, one, we're telling ourselves that we're worthy of that connection. Two, we're boosting our sense of gratitude by taking the time to look at and notice some of the goodness that's here for us to enjoy, right? So we're taking the time to notice the goodness that's there, and we're affirming our own worth by giving ourselves the time to actually enjoy that goodness. And three, it's creating more space that allows us to recognize our own ability to calm ourselves, to step out of that. I call it like a brain hole because all of those thoughts about what's coming next and what already passed, it's like this black hole that just sucks you in. And you don't even realize that you're doing it. You're trapped inside your brain and you don't even realize that that's where you are. So sometimes, when you find yourself feeling flustered or overwhelmed, recognizing that you're in that brain hole and being willing to just stop and give yourself a chance to notice something in your present situation, to look for that beauty. And you don't always have to step outside to do it. I just feel like nature is an easy place to do it because I can easily step outside and be like, oh, there's a bird singing, or there's this beautiful tree or a flower or a blade of grass. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. Anything that you notice is a symbol of goodness. It's a symbol of beauty. It's a symbol of peace that's available to you right now. So it can be a powerful shift in our brains that can help us to be more present in the moment and to get some joy out of whatever's here. And even in frustrating or challenging times like these, it's really just a time. So in all times, there is some beauty, there is some goodness available. It's our brains that kind of that fall into that brain hole of of all of the shoulds or shouldn'ts or have tos or did or didn'ts, and it disconnects us from the goodness that is here for us right now. So if we can just find one small example of something that is good in our sphere right now, we can reconnect to the idea that that goodness is there and that we deserve to experience it. And as we start to do that and our focus starts to shift, we can become aware of more goodness and we can let more of it into our lives. So I just think that's really important, and I felt like sharing it today. I know that for myself, I don't think I've slept in like 2 weeks, and most of that is due to a thyroid thing. But I was thinking this morning, I bet there's a lot of other people who haven't slept in 2 weeks for all different reasons, because there's a lot of mental and emotional stress to all of this change. And also there's a lot of ideas I see. I know a lot of people in this group are business owners or are healing practitioners. And even if you aren't, depending on, I don't know what you all see in your feeds, but for me as a business owner, I've been seeing a lot of things about, how I should be using this time to be the most productive or to expand my business and all of this. And it's one of those brain holes again, when we get sucked into the idea of what we should be doing or what we need to be doing, instead of being aware of all the opportunities that are actually available right now. So that's where the idea of this share came from for me. Because personally, because of not been sleeping, which some of you may not have either for different reasons, and that's okay. It's like I need to honor my own needs right now, which is really rest. I need to rest and be here, but also not be pushing myself too hard, because if I do that, I'm going to be exhausted and completely run out. And that's okay. It's okay to be wherever you are, and honoring our own needs is important. And creating that space and taking time to connect is also, again, affirming our own worth, as I said, and giving us the space to really recognize, tune into our own needs so that we can honor it. Taking the time to honor those needs, every time we do that, every time we honor our own needs, we're again telling ourselves that we're worthy and building our confidence in the process. So everything kind of has multiple ways of supporting us, but it's important for us to do that. And it's important for us to recognize that our needs may not be the same as somebody else's. And when I really think about it, what is most important to me right now in this space isn't really building my business. I've got other more important things on my mind that I'd rather give my time to. And yes, I need to give myself rest in order to be able to do or show up for any of them. And you may have similar things. I mean, you might have a different thing that's being pushed for you to do right now, feeling like you need to be productive or get more work done, or use this time in a productive way to, I don't know, fix your nutrition or exercise or whatever. It's like, oh, I have all the time, so I have to do all the things that I always said I should do that I haven't done, right? But you really don't have to. You can if you want to, if that's honoring your needs and supporting you in boosting your own sense of connection and self-worth and giving yourself the love that you need to be calm and be whole right now, right? But we all have different needs, so it's okay to tune into those, like actually take the time, like Ricky says, to be quiet and meditate and connect to yourself and to what you're called to do right now, what you need to honor for yourself, and be willing to step into that. So if you need time to rest, or if you need time to recover, if you feel like you need to feed yourself, you want to work on, then do it. But whatever needs that you have, be willing to honor them and be willing to recognize that what you're getting done right now does not equate to your worth as a person. It never does. What we're getting done right now never equates to our worth as a person. Our worth is already there. It's inherent. And we support that worth, and we support ourselves in bringing our value forward and sharing it in the world by taking the time and the space to honor our needs and supporting ourselves through that process. going to do it for you. I mean, they can try, but they can't fully do it for you because most of those needs are things that you have to be willing to give yourself. So I just wanted to encourage everyone to take some space today to see and honor those needs and be willing to slow down a little bit and take the space to connect and foster that sense of worthiness and that sense of connection. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them on the video. And I hope that you all have a fantastic day. And I hope that everyone is maintaining themselves and showing themselves love through all of this, no matter what you are feeling with right now. All right, much love.